And this is a transmission that just kept beating in my heart, and I decided to call it New Earth Prosperity Formula. Welcome if you are watching this live with me, if you're watching this as a replay. We're meeting in this beautiful, timeless portal that it's called the Now. And I'd love to I would love to start this conversation with you, beloveds, first by really giving a shout out to my community in Italy, who is going through a very challenging lockdown. And I just wanted to take a moment, and everybody who is watching this with me right now, take a moment and let's just send support to people who are in a crazy lockdown in Italy. They cannot even leave going outside, and it's very tough mentally. It's very tough mentally. It's very difficult psychologically. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my Italian community and my community in Spain. If you're also in the crazy lockdowns, my heart is going to you. And this live stream is dedicated, a lot of it will be dedicated to you, because when we cannot leave our homes and we are forced to stay inside, we can either feel defeated by the circumstances, or we can rise above it and create something beautiful, even when it's not easy, even when it's not hard. It's not easy, it's hard, right? So when I hear about my brothers and sisters in Italy, I cannot complain about what's happening in California, even though it's also can be mentally tough. So I just wanted to say, let's send them love. And I wanted to acknowledge all of you who are going through these restrictions. And I know it's not easy. And every time you find the way to focus on the positive, to focus on opportunities, I wanted to acknowledge your strength, acknowledge your resilience, and acknowledge your ability to stay open-hearted through this process. So this is my shout out to my European community who've been through a lot this year. And Europeans are strong people. Europeans are strong people. I am European myself, originally from Russia. And I just wanted to give this shout out because I'm here with you, and I feel you, beloveds. I feel you. So I wanted to share this live stream on the topic of New Earth Prosperity Formula and prosperity codes. And I've prepared some points, but before I share the formula, I wanted to share with you my why I am turning on the camera and sharing these conversations, because I see everybody who is tuning in, you are another version of me, and I am another version of you. So it's one consciousness having a conversation. We made this agreement on the level of the soul to meet at very important crossroads of our lives and our destinies. And if you're drawn to my transmissions, is because something in your soul recognizes a familiarity, a sense of recognition. So quite possibly we're from the same soul family, we're from the same kind of like a soul group, and we made an agreement to meet at a crossroads of life and to be a messenger, right? So every time when I step into these conversations, I invoke spirit, and I just say, Spirit, use this body of mine, use my voice, use my mind to channel whatever is useful for beings who will be joining. So my name is Katerina Satori. I was born and raised in Soviet Russia, and prosperity was not something that I grew up with, but prosperity was an ideal that I was striving towards. And not just the prosperity, not just wealth by any cost. This was my first few years in America as an immigrant. I moved to this country 15 years ago. And the first 8 years of being in this country, I was hungry for success. You know how Les Brown, if you watch Les Brown, he's such an amazing speaker. He has a very famous speech and he says, "You gotta be hungry." I love that talk. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Les Brown. You got to be hungry. So I was a hungry immigrant and I worked my body until my body collapsed into a burnout. And I was forced to look into, into my approach to creating a dream life. You can create it simply by working yourself to death, or maybe there is another way. And I began to search a more harmonious way of actually finding, well, a big answer to this question: what is it I'm here to do? What is my true calling? And once I find that and identify that, well, how can I thrive by living my true calling? So by living my true calling, right? And I wanted to really highlight that because new earth prosperity formula starts with this first principle. And it's our ability to connect with our unique talents and our ability, in our willingness to follow that talent, whatever it will lead us. Another way to say it is to align to our true calling. And I shared this in a live training that I'm currently leading. It's called the frequency shift. And yesterday we dove deep into this topic called super abundance calibration. And I was sharing this transmission is that if before 2020, some of us could get away by doing something that our heart is not in it anymore. And you do it because it provides you a paycheck. You do it because it helps you pay your bills. 2020 came in with this powerful shakeup, and it invited us to make a very powerful choice, even if it's internal choice, where you look yourself in the mirror in your own eyes and you say to yourself, am I doing something that is correct for me? Because the hours and the time that we invest in our work takes a huge part of our life. And one of the most tragic experiences of a human life is when you waste the most prime years of your life on the work that you hate simply because it provides for you. And there is no shame, there is no guilt, there is simply a question of honesty. It's a question of honesty, right? And I had to ask that question when I was an immigrant and I was hungry for success, and I was involved in a business that was paying really a lot of money, but my soul was not in it. And there was a point where I had to make a choice and leave all of my security blankets, and all of them at once. So, what was happening in 2020 for a lot of people, I went through in 2015. 2016 was deep letting go of all security blankets and leaping into my true calling by faith and by trust that the higher self will catch me. So the first principle is aligning to your true talent, aligning to your true talent. And this could be a long process for if you just begin to ask yourself a question: what is my true calling? What is my true gifts, right? And if you've been asking that question for a while, then your question would be maybe, how do I refine my talent to the point of mastery? How do I refine my talent to the point of mastery, right? Because one thing that I have observed, loves, that no matter what's happening in the economy, what is always going to be in demand is mastery. It's always going to be in demand. I always say mastery recognizes mastery. I can see somebody who is offering a high quality work. I can recognize it from a mile. And I choose to invest in a people who do masterful work. Whether it's somebody who creates my powerful alchemical tools, that it's called an ankh, I will go and I invest people who create a masterful work. And here's the thing, right? So the very first principle in this new earth prosperity formula is aligning to your higher calling and aligning and dedicating yourself to your true talent. So the first question, do you know your talents? Do you know your unique gifts and abilities? And do you dedicate yourself with all of your devotion to refining them to the point of mastery? Because this will be the number thing that will set you apart in this next decade. So the next point, I have some notes. Let me know if this is in resonance with you. Maybe what I share will be a giant confirmation for you. You'll be like, Katerina, you know what? I already lived this, and this is a giant confirmation for me. And maybe it will be an insight for you, right? So the second point in this new earth prosperity formula is that you will prosper every single time you do something because it brings you joy. Gone are the days where you and I could get away with simply doing something because our mind tells us it's going to bring us revenue. You're like, I'm going to launch the same program. I'm going to offer the same product. My heart is not in it. I cringe inside when I think about offering it. But you know what? It doesn't bring me joy. It doesn't excite me to grow, but I'm going to offer it anyway because I have already graphics created. I have a landing page built for this. I've done this. It's going to be very easy to deliver. Please remember this, beloveds. People feel the energy behind your creations. So if you are bored with your creation, if you outgrew it, you either put it aside and let it breathe until your joy returns, or you decide to innovate it and to offer it in a completely unique way, and it will require you to trust in your innovation and to trust in your ability to do something new in a new way. As long as you offer your services and your creations and they're infused with your deepest joy, because people feel it. People feel it when our heart is in it, right, loves? This is one of the reasons that sometimes I don't teach the same course for like another 2 years. I teach something and then I'm like, I gotta wait until it comes back, until a fire in my belly comes back. And I'm okay letting some of my programs literally sit for 2 years until I feel the fire stirring deep in my belly, right? And I feel the call from the universe for me to offer this program and this service. Very powerful distinction. The same distinction is, by following your passion, right? Following your joy. Does this bring you joy? Instead of, will this bring me revenue? Ask yourself a question first. Will this bring me deepest joy? Because revenue will follow you when you express your creativity from the deepest joy. Right, loves? So very, very powerful. Then the third principle, first we had commit to your true talents. Second, follow your deepest joy. Third, get on fire with your mission. This is the year, loves. This is the year of leadership. This is a year of leadership, and a leadership that is meaningful to you, because leadership is an experience that is unique to you. It's not something like a set of principles or a set of rules. Leadership is a dynamic experience that will be unique to you. But one thing for sure is that no one is coming. There is no government that is coming to support us or save us. There is nobody is coming. It's only you and your creative potential and your ability to trust that potential wherever it will lead you. And what will carry you through is your ability to tap into the deepest fire of your mission, to get clear on your mission. And every day you wake up and you say, what is my mission? What is the mission that fires me up? What is the mission that keeps me awake at night? That question. I used to be so annoyed by this marketing question. What keeps you awake at night? I used to be so annoyed by that. I'll be like, this is like the most ridiculous question anybody asked people. But loves, and the other day I was awake at night, and I remember that question, and I began to laugh. I was awake at 3 a.m. and I said, you were laughing and making fun of that marketing question, but here you are awake at night. And I said, Katerina, what keeps you awake at night? And you know what keeps me awake at night? My mission. I lay at night sometimes when insomnia comes, very rarely, but I usually think about how can I deliver this program from the highest level of mastery. And right now, everything in me is dedicated to my mastermind that I am leading in 2021. The application for it is closed. It is completely full. By spirit, it came together. So most of my energy and focus will be devoted to this group that I am here to serve. So this is my mission for this entire 13 months. And when I am on fire with my mission, I am unstoppable. The fire of my mission carries me through plateaus, carries me through loss of momentum, carries me through fatigue. So the fire of my mission also unlocks the most powerful thing. It's called your personal magnetism. Beloveds, when you connect to your deepest mission, and that may take you sitting in silence and asking yourself, what is my deepest mission? And hearing the answers and writing them down, right? And if you continue to ask and to insist on receiving that answer, the answer will be given to you. I promise you, right? So get on fire with your mission, because it is the most magnetic, powerful frequency that you can unleash. You know what is not magnetic? It's a lukewarm, half-hearted attitude. And every time, and it's also a great remedy for any kind of inadequacy and self-doubt moments. I promise you, loves. When inadequacy and a self-doubt attack comes my way, because remember, I'm in the human body just like you. I have this human vehicle. And that human vehicle comes with limitations, comes with an ability to think low frequency thoughts. This human vehicle comes with insecurity attacks, with thinking about, oh my goodness, is what I'm sharing, is this being received? Do people understand what I'm sharing? Or did I lose half of my community already, right? All of these voices, I just don't give them any of my attention, because I'm so focused and so on fire with my mission. And my mission is written down, and it's actually, I use a drawing. Because subconscious mind things in symbols and images. So I have a drawing that is put above my altar. My devotional prayer altar is a place of power that I start my day with and I finish my day with. So my mission is posted somewhere where I can see it every single day. I don't trust my memory. I don't trust my focus. I trust what I write down and what I deliberately put my attention on. And I promise you, loves, if you make this important for you, if you able to remember, of course you'll able to remember, if you choose to remember that the power of your focus is the most incredible superpower that is given to us humans. Animals don't have that power, only humans. And your ability to direct your focus away from the fear, away from self-doubt, away from inadequacy, away from obsession with self, to I'm going to show up and be generous like the sun. I'm going to show up and I'm going to speak about my mission. I'm going to show up, I'm going to share the wisdom and the knowledge and the love that I carry. And I'm not going to hold it back. I'm going to share it. Because right now, when the world is bleak and European countries in a very strict lockdown, there is so much opportunity to be the light and to share your light and to share your vibration and to be generous about it and to be consistent about it. So, are you with me? I love being with you. You know, another reason why I do these live streams, loves, is because I have found that prosperity is created. Prosperity is our birthright. Entire cosmos is rich in prosperity. And for us to create prosperous lives, it's often something that is a combination of our inner alignment, our daily actions, and our daily focus, right? If it would be given to us on a silver platter, we would not appreciate it. We would not appreciate it. This is why we choose to come in, especially the light workers. We choose to incarnate in very dense family lineages. We choose to take on some heavy karma, right? And we choose to develop ourselves and our abilities to the point of mastery so we could master our physical reality. All right, I'm going to take a pause right here. I've been going for half an hour, I think. Hi, loves. What has been resonating with you? Let me know in the comments. Remember, your talents are unique to you. Nobody can compete with you on your talents because nobody has talents exactly the same way as you do. Another way to say it, your unique soul gifts, right? Your unique soul gifts. And then we have, you gotta follow your joy and offer your products and your services from the place of the deepest joy, or from your heart. I remember I went to see this medium that I go see maybe once a year. She's very galactic. She's awesome. And 3 years ago, her guides told me, Katerina, from now on, everything you do, every product, every program that you offer must come straight from your heart. You cannot create from your mind anymore. You can't get away with this. And when I heard that message, at first I didn't really get it. I was like, everything I do comes from my heart. How can it be from my mind? And then when I sat with that message, I really saw it. I really saw it because a traditional business world teaches you to be logical in your creativity, teaches you to calculate, to strategize, to anticipate, right, what the market wants, what the market needs. But the heart wisdom is a wild wisdom The heart wants what the heart wants. And the heart wisdom is a spontaneous creativity. It's a spontaneous art. It's enchanting. It's illogical. It's beautiful. It's alive. And it took me a lot of faith to shift how I choose to create from a mental perspective to a heart-based perspective. And to trust that those who resonate with my message will continue to resonate when I come from the deepest levels of my heart, which is spontaneous creativity, unplanned, unpredictable, wildly committed to only one thing, this moment. So fresh, so original. And you know what it takes to create and to lead from that place? Your ability to let go completely in the moment. Let go of all control. Let go of obsession of how you coming through. You just let go. You become empty, 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 and you trust whatever will come through. It's exquisite freedom, beloveds. It's exquisite freedom. Yeah. I trust not knowing more and more. You know, it's very interesting because, you know, at first you trust your knowledge, and I feel it's a very normal progression. First, you feel very confident in what you know. You like, I know this blueprint, I know this process, I know this sequence, I know this campaign, right? And marketing language. And then it carries you to a particular level. And then you begin to realize now you got to leave it behind. And you got to trust your ability to dance with life, your ability to not know, your ability to improvise, and trust that that's the magic. That's the magic. So if you just joined, beloveds, I am sharing a new earth prosperity formula, but it's a very fluid formula. It's just a timeless principle. So the last principle was to get on fire with your mission. To get on fire with your mission in a way that is, because, you know, once you connect to your true mission, it's like turning on this deepest heart flame that not only illuminates the path for others, it continually warms your inner world. When the world becomes dark and bleak, this is your anchor. This is your inner fire, right? And no matter where you at, you can tap into that and you can keep going. You can keep going. So again, my European community who is in those crazy lockdowns that do not make sense, my heart goes to you, because you have an opportunity to use this time to go all in with your mission, to build your community, to build virtual gatherings, to refine your talents to the point of deeper mastery, right? Remember, nobody can lock down your creative mind. Nobody can lock down your ability to think in new ways, your ability to create something. And we do live in the most incredible time, beloveds. It's a paradox, right? It's a paradox. On one hand, we have these crazy restrictions, right? On the other hand, we have the most profound levels of access. We can reach anybody in the world through this beautiful medium called internet. There has never been the easiest time to create a product based on your skills and on your wisdom. If you're really committed, you can create a product to sell in 1 hour. Maybe one day I will just create like a I will just create like a contest. How fast can you create a product? How fast can you create a meditation? You know how fast? 15 minutes. In 15 minutes you can create a product that you can sell and start earning an income. The only thing that holds people back is their lack of belief, and loud voices of constriction. And when you can put that aside and you say, you know what, I choose to believe that I have something unique to offer, and I have a unique combination of soul gifts that only I have, and I can trust that, and I can take another day and I can trust that, right, loves? What was what was the number 4? Number 4 is step out of the shadows, baby. That also comes from frequency shift that I just taught, and I'm on fire with this message. Step out of the shadows. Step out of the shadows of comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the fastest way to lose your momentum, is to compare yourself to others. Beloveds, I keep sharing this message. You know what helped me create such wildly successful online business in a relatively short time, 5 years, in the time of global pandemic? My business just like just expanded. It wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It's my ability to do this one thing, to never let comparison virus in my mind. You know, it's an ability to put these how do they call it? You know, like this ability to have this vision where you don't look to the right, you don't look to the left. You only have an eye on your vision and on your mission. And you don't go to other people's Facebook profiles and compare yourself to how pretty other person has their programs, or how efficient that they have the systems. If you compare yourself, you lose your power. And not only you lose your power, you slow down your momentum and you drop your frequency. Because comparison hides what, loves? Comparison hides pride. Comparison hides pride. You gotta purge that pride out of your system by first being very honest with yourself, and you say, you know what? Why I choose to compare myself? I'm gonna put the blinders on, and I'm gonna only focus on developing my talents. And if I look to the right, if I look to the left, is only to get inspired by someone. I only get inspired by them. You know, like I look at my fellow thought leaders and I look at their success and I bless them. And I say, you know what, you go. May the fruits of your labor be blessed. May you prosper even more. May you prosper even more, because I don't see separation between me and another person. You know, I don't see competition. I see we're all on the same team. It's called Team Source. We're all on the same team. It's called Source Consciousness, right? We're all the same vessels that Spirit is using to channel the light, to channel encouragement. So when I see somebody thriving, I bless them. And beloveds, this is the thing, you know, step out of the shadows. So which shadows are holding you back? And it takes such honesty and compassion. You know, there is no need to beat yourself up for it. It's just like this gentle inquiry where you're willing to ask yourself, you know, how long have I have been comparing myself? This is such an old story. And if I remember that we are in a such accelerated awakening of humanity, we simply don't have time for this anymore. And it's our ability to say, you know what? I'm going to pour my unique gifts and I'm going to be generous as a son. The reason I felt guided to wear this yellow dress on this live stream, loves, is because this is a principle of my life. Generous like the sun. Generous like the sun. I receive as much of inspiration when I show up, turn on the camera, and share messages with you. This lights me up. If this message reaches one person and gives fuel for their hearts, gives wind for their sail, this is like so inspiring for me, right? And what's so beautiful is that generosity is the most powerful business strategy. If there is a business strategy that I follow, everything is spontaneous and fluid in my business, is the number one strategy is generosity. Give back without expecting nothing in return. Give back simply because it brings you joy. Give back because somebody has helped you on your path. And you're simply passing on the torch. And give back because that's what leaders do. The last principle is stand up as a leader. Stand up as a leader. Hi, glorious beings. I've been with you. I love, this is a deep dive. I did warn you. I said, this is going to be a deep dive. Is this resonating with you, my loves? I hope you get fired up. Some of my talks are very like meditative style. This is the fiery one. I'm a double Leo in my horoscope. Like so much fire and creative fire, because one thing I trust, loves, I'm not afraid to lose money. I'm not afraid to lose my business. I'm not afraid of any losses. You know why? Because I cannot lose my creativity. I cannot lose my wisdom. I cannot lose my experience. These are priceless internal assets that nobody can take away from me. And when you have nothing to lose, when you're not afraid to lose anything, you show up very differently in the world. You show up very differently in the world. And it's a very powerful shift within you when you say, you know what? I am not afraid to lose anything, because things that are priceless, I can never lose. And it's my internal power, my wisdom, my life experience, my skills, my attitude of audacity, right? And that's what sets leaders apart. Leaders are not afraid to lose anything. And some of the most wild entrepreneurs, they are able to go through massive ups and downs. A lot of the very successful entrepreneurs, they have at least one bankruptcy under their belt. If you read biographies of Elon Musk, Richard Branson, they have at least one bankruptcy under their belt. And they're not afraid to take wild, massive leaps forward, because they know they have something within that nobody can take away from them. Loves, standing up as a leader is the last piece. And leadership is something that for all of us to define on our own. It's not an old concept that leader is like, the person who carries the torch and everybody follows. That's the old paradigm. That's the old paradigm. The new paradigm, the new earth, is where we begin to awaken the leader within. We begin to activate our sovereign thinking, our sovereign living, our ability to see that there is a value in our talents and our ability to develop ourselves into skillful masters of our reality. It's not an option to have a side business anymore. It's not an option. You gotta think, how can I diversify what I have? If you only have one channel of income right now, how stable do you feel? How stable do you feel? When people ask me about my mother, beloveds, my mom lives in Russia. It's not that stable in Russia. A lot of people barely make their ends meet. My mother, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, decides to open YouTube channel without asking me for help, without asking me to set it up for her. She knows I practically live on social media, right? She just decides quietly open up a YouTube channel and begins to share her passion for knitting. She likes to knit. She actually had a stroke, a heart attack 5 years ago. And because she was a smoker all her life. Let's tell a real story. Let's tell full story. My mom was a smoker all her life because, she had a lot of trauma growing up, and no tools, no therapy, no psychologists in Russia. And her coping mechanism with the pain and intensity of life was to smoke. And she couldn't quit, no matter how many times she tried. And I bet she shamed herself for it. And she carried a lot of guilt because she couldn't quit. Well, you know what helped her quit? A heart attack. Because her higher self, my mother also has higher self that she consciously not aware of, but it's irrelevant. Her higher self is aware of her personality. So her higher self decided to give her a heart attack to wake her up into a change of life. So my mom, of course, quits because she knows if she lights up even one cigarette, she dies. And she has a child to take care of, right? So, loves, a story goes on. My mom still doesn't know how to manage this nervous energy, right? She decides to pick up a hobby, and her hobby is knitting. And she gets so good. She knits 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. She loves it. That's what brings her joy. That's what brings her passion. She discovers a new talent. She goes on YouTube, starts posting her videos, posts every day, posts a video, goes live every week. Fast forward, my mother has 24,000 organic followers. 24,000 organic followers from Russia, all middle-aged and older women who also love knitting, who follow her, who love her stories about life. And right now, my mom YouTube channel brings her an income, provides her for her life in Russia. I am so proud of my mother because she became resourceful. She followed her joy. She stood up as a leader and she created a community, all without crying on my shoulder and asking me for help. Her victory of creating her own way of providing for herself at 68 years old or 67 years old. I don't know, my mom doesn't understand English, so she won't be able to understand what I'm speaking here. Maybe 65. My mom is 65 or 66. I don't remember. But what I respect is the level of her fulfillment that she did it herself. She doesn't need to ask for handouts from the government. She receives a very small pension. She created it herself. And I respect my mother so much. And, to see the joy of victory is so powerful. So, beloveds, I will drop the link to my mom YouTube channel so you can see. She doesn't have a fancy, beautiful outfits. She's just being herself. She's being herself, her authentic self. And people resonate. People resonate with her essence. And she gets hate comments on YouTube, and she gets all of it. She continues to show up as a leader and just continues to share her message. Beloveds, you know, one of the things that I deeply feel behind this message is that prosperity is for you to create. Prosperity is for me to create. And when you create it with your own bare hands, with your own heart, with your own devotion, it is such a level of fulfillment. You know, it is such a fulfilling feeling when you create your own sovereignty. And this is my biggest why of keep sharing these live streams, because sovereignty is earned. It's earned. It's your birthright as a soul. But once you leave the spirit plane and you enter the physical density reality, sovereignty is earned. It's created. And when it's earned, you deeply appreciate it. You feel an exquisite sense of freedom. You're not frightened by the gloom and doom messages. You laugh at these fear-based stories that we're going into another recession, right? This could be a reality for a lot of people, and I don't minimize the stress and the worry that comes with it. I invite all of us to use this as a fuel, where you don't postpone another day and you say, you know what? This may be rocky for me next couple of years. This may be difficult. And this, I'm going to choose this as a fuel to say, I will not postpone my dreams, not a minute longer. I'm going to rise up and I'm going to start with a YouTube channel. I'm going to start social media brilliance. I'm going to shine. I'm going to share. I'm going to serve. And that, beloveds, will carry you through any lockdowns. I was sharing with my friends and I said, if I didn't have my community, if I didn't have my creativity, if I didn't have my clients to serve, if I didn't have my students to serve, if I didn't have a ways to serve life, I would get really depressed. I would get really depressed. So because you focus on what's lacking in your reality. Service will always lift you up. Creativity will always lift you up. Being useful to others always will lift you up. So create, don't wait, beloveds. Create, don't wait. No more waiting. Time for us to create, right? If you just joined, I literally went for an hour. And I feel this transmission felt very alive for me. I hope it was alive for you, beloveds. As always, I encourage you to share this video if it resonates with you. Share, share, share. And if you'd like some support, I have a free karmic clearing course on my website that will go away literally this week. My designer is redoing my homepage, and that course will be gone. It's a free karmic clearing course that I taught 5 years ago that you can go through and clear fears, doubts, karmic negative imprints. Go through it. It's free. It will be gone this week. So what else I can offer you, beloveds? You can also look into some of my self-study programs. I have really comprehensive business trainings that are incredibly accessible. If you get to learn how to sell your services, this is the number one skill you must have in this economy. You can be very masterful at what you do. If you don't know how to sell what you offer, you're going to have a very hard time. So learn how to talk about your offerings with power, authenticity, and devotion. And then learn how to onboard people who are interested in what you do with confidence, clarity, and enthusiasm. And that's called selling, right? So I have a program called Luxury Launchpad, which is a phenomenal program. So many people went through it and went through it as a self-study and created massive results in their businesses and their lives because they applied what it's in the program, right? You can find it under courses in my website. And there are spiritual courses. There is a free course of free meditation. So check it out. My website is www.katerinasatori.com. And beloveds, what else I wanted to share with you? I'm teaching frequency shift course. Last session is on Sunday. So if you desire to receive replays after this course will be complete, I may offer it as a replay. And I plan on teaching 3 live courses in 2021. We'll see how it will flow, right? But that's my intention, to teach 3 live courses, and I will announce when it goes live. It's, to me, there is no better feeling than to serve a group. It is so fulfilling, and to see the transformation that people receive, because we learn the fastest in a live community-based training, where we feel connected to others, we make new connections, we form new friendships, we get inspired by others. We are social beings. So use this time to learn new skills, to upgrade your offerings, infuse them with joy and passion, right? And get on fire with your mission. Come out of your shadows. We all have them. It's time to let them go and stand up as a leader, because that's the prosperity formula. And that gets to be earned by all of us, right? And it gets to be created through courage. I love you deeply. Thank you so much for watching this live stream and being with me. Happy New Year. May this be a powerful year for you. I will be doing another live stream to share with you about the energies of this year. They're very unique frequencies of this year, but for now, I'm gonna go get some rest, and I love you deeply. Again, you can see what's available on my website, www.katerinasatori.com, and I'm so excited for redesign is coming. I love you, beloveds. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you very soon.